This movie starts as a dumb college plan and ends with vampires ruling the night from underground tunnels. And almost nobody remembers how dark VAMP really was. VAMP is one of those movies that slipped through the cracks of the 80s. It looks like a comedy. It feels like neon chaos. But under the jokes and strange faces, this movie hides one of the bleakest vampire stories of the decade. Tonight, we are breaking down the full story of VAMP, where it begins, how it turns brutal, who survives, who doesn't, and why the ending is way darker than people remember. Because this is not just a vampire club movie. It is a story about bad choices, loyalty, and what happens when you wander into a world that was never meant to let you leave. The story begins with two college students, Keith and AJ. They are stuck living in a loud, cramped dorm room, surrounded by noise, chaos, and zero privacy. They want out, badly. Their solution is simple and stupid. They decide the only way into a fraternity house is to bribe their way in, and the bribe is a stripper. To make that happen, they borrow a Cadillac from Duncan, a rich and lonely student who just wants friends. Duncan insists on coming with them, and that decision seals his fate. The three drive into a rough part of the city, chasing rumors of strip clubs that don't ask questions. That is when they find it, a place called After Dark. The neighborhood is wrong. The people watching them feel wrong. But AJ, full of ego and confidence, pushes forward anyway. Inside After Dark, nothing feels real. The dancers are strange. The patrons feel predatory. The air feels heavy. Then Katrina appears. She doesn't dance like the others. Her performance is slow, controlled, almost artistic. Everyone watches her, and she watches everyone back. After watching this, I know where Dusk Till Dawn got the inspiration from for the titty twister scene. AJ is completely hooked. He follows Katrina to her dressing room, trying to convince her to work their college party. That is when the truth comes out. Katrina pins AJ to a waterbed, filled with blood. She seduces him slowly, touches him, licks him, then bites him. When AJ tries to fight back, she snaps his arm like it means nothing, and with one deep bite to his neck, she kills him, just like that. No screaming, no rescue. AJ is dead. Back in the club, Keith starts to worry. AJ hasn't come back. Duncan is nervous. The staff won't help. A waitress named Amaretto offers help. She keeps saying she knows Keith, but he doesn't remember her at all. While searching outside, Keith is chased by a violent albino street gang. And something worse, vampires roaming the streets. Hiding inside a dumpster, Keith finds AJ's body, cold, lifeless, thrown away like trash. Keith calls the police, then storms back into the club to accuse the owners. But it's already too late. The vampires have moved first. They bring AJ back, alive. AJ looks the same, but he isn't. He admits to Keith that he is now a vampire. He begs him to kill him. Keith can't do it. He would rather die himself than hurt his friend. Realizing this, AJ makes the choice for him. He drives a broken piece of furniture through his own heart. A J collapses. Keith believes his best friend is gone forever. Keith, Amaretto, and Duncan run. Vampires chase them through the streets, ramming their car again and again. In the chaos, Duncan reveals the truth. He has been bitten too. Keith and Amaretto abandon him inside the wrecked car. The vehicle bursts into flames. and explodes. Duncan is gone, or so they think. Keith and Amaretto escape through the sewers beneath the city. That is when Amaretto reveals her real name, Allison. She remembers Keith from childhood, a simple game of spin the bottle in 5th grade. While underground, they discover a nest of sleeping vampires. They burn it to the ground. But Katrina is still alive. She captures Allison and proves nearly unstoppable. An arrow to the face does nothing. A pipe through the chest does nothing. Katrina keeps coming. Keith realizes brute force won't work. Instead, he shoots arrows through a grated ceiling, and sunlight pours in. Katrina screams as the light burns her apart. She is finally destroyed. But before they can escape, Vlad appears, Katrina's vampire partner. Now that is a very familiar name in the vampire space. He traps them underground, and then the impossible happens. AJ returns, alive. The stake he used earlier was fake. It was Formica. AJ drives a real stake into Vlad's back, killing him instantly. As daylight rises, Keith and Allison finally climb toward the surface. For the first time since entering the city, the world feels normal again. The air is clear, the noise is gone, the sun washes everything clean. They are alive. They made it out. But AJ does not follow them. AJ stays behind in the tunnels, standing in the shadows where the light cannot reach him. He doesn't panic. He doesn't beg. He doesn't scream. Instead, he starts planning. He talks about how this could still work, how life doesn't have to end. It just has to change. Night school, jobs that run after midnight, graveyard shifts, schedules built around darkness. He even jokes about staying roommates. And that is what makes it unsettling. AJ doesn't see himself as a monster. He sees himself as someone adapting. There is no cure offered, no final spell, no sacrifice that turns him back. The movie doesn't pretend this can be fixed. AJ crossed a line, and there is no crossing back. Keith doesn't argue. He doesn't try to save him. He knows this is the limit of friendship. Some doors only open one way. The camera lets us sit with that idea. That survival doesn't always mean victory. That escaping doesn't mean everything is okay. Keith and Allison step into the daylight, but they leave something behind. Not just a friend, but the version of him they once knew. VAMP begins like a dumb college story. Two guys just trying to escape a bad dorm room. A reckless plan. A night that was supposed to be fun. But it ends as a warning. Every bad decision stacks on top of the last one. Every ignored sign gets heavier. Every joke turns into a consequence. Nobody meant for this to happen. But that doesn't stop it from happening. And that is why VAMP feels different from other vampire movies of the 80s. There is no heroic victory, no clean ending, no sense that evil was erased. The vampires are gone. But one remains, not locked in a coffin, not destroyed by fire, just hidden, living quietly beneath the city, blending into the system, waiting for night to fall again. VAMP doesn't end with hope. It ends with reality. Some monsters don't die. They learn how to survive. If you want the next vampire story waiting on your screen, watch the next video.